Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Reach out to me directly for pricing. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today, we discuss a watch so scarce that our research indicates there were probably fewer than 12 manufactured. This is the FP Journe Chronomètre Souverain Black Label, albeit in a 38mm case. This model, of course, part of the Black Label series that bowed in 2008. The idea was have a boutique exclusive for FP Journe factory stores that is also only available to previous purchasers of new FP Journe watches. And on top of those obvious restrictions, there were limits to how many models could be made Black Label per year. So Chronomètre Souverain, Chronomètre Resonance, there were limits to how many of each could be made Black Label per year. This watch, again, 38mm and Black Label, Chronomètre Souverain and Rare, wears beautifully on my 16cm circumference wrist. It's 38mm in diameter, which was the scarcer, smaller case size. It's 8.6mm thick, and then from lug tip to lug tip, it is 44.1mm across the wrist with a 20mm spacing between the lugs. It slides easily underneath a dress cuff, and because it is so short lug to lug, I could recommend this watch for a wrist as small as 13.5cm circumference, an excellent option for both men and women. The strap is like the watch, black. Large rectangular scale alligator leather, semi-gloss, a folded edge, a little bit of bolstering to give it thickness. The folded edge contrasts with a sheer cut edge because it wraps around. And then we have small round scale alligator leather on the back. The idea of having gator on both sides is that it makes for a longer lasting strap. More expensive, but worth it. And you can see this is a brand new FP Journe factory strap. Now it has pull tab spring bars. You pull the tab, the strap pops off, so it's easy to clean between the lugs. And then we have curved spring bars so that the lugs can be drilled close to the case, which creates a nice integrated look, allows unimpeded motion to the strap, so it fits better, but it also makes sure that you have that aesthetic. So you get the ergonomics, the flexibility, and the aesthetics all in one because the spring bar is curved to match the arc of the case. The mid case is familiar. All of high polish. It's defined by the overlap of the bezel and the case back. We have lugs that are integrated and turn 90 degrees down from the case band. Again, an ergonomic consideration. The bezel is domed. The crown is now the famous double dimple knurled FP Journe design. And the dial is black. Not only is the Black Label scarce, not only are there restrictions on who can buy and how many can buy, but the Black Label has an exclusive black dial platinum case tandem. The boutique models from FP Journe have a black dial and a rose gold case. So when you see the black dial and the platinum case, you know you're looking at a Black Label model. The watch, of course, features a sort of pyramid stamped guilloche at center, and then sub-registers for the 56-hour power reserve indicator, and then a counterweighted small seconds hand. We have these Journe font radially arrayed Arabic numerals. Take note, there's a little bit of waxing and waning of the size of these numerals as they wrap around the small seconds. And Journe's famous biomorphic tapered hands at center and on the power reserve indicator. Flip the watch over, and you can see some of the signs of the times. This phased out pretty much after 2008, but from the 1980s through mid-2008, FP Journe depended on Eleanor, a company outside of Paris, to supply cases for his pocket and later wristwatches. So right there you have the Eleanor maker's mark. That's what the big diamond-shaped punch is, and then the stamps next to that, those are French hallmarkings. That's why this watch features both Swiss and French hallmarking. It's because the case was made in France. Later, Eleanor was bought up by Journe and moved to Geneva, where it became Boîtier de Genève, his in-house case factory. And a lot of the same people still work there. The movement is made of rose gold, and the movement is gorgeous. You can see it has a lovely depth to it and an open channel between the barrels and the escapement, but with no drivetrain between them, because the drivetrain runs underneath the dial, so you have this lovely hidden train that reveals a sunray motif on the base plate adjacent to the barrels. Twin barrels in series, manual wind, 56-hour power reserve. The real point of the twin barrels is a more even and progressive torque release. So, for example, the watch doesn't gallop when fully wound, nor does it slow down unduly after, for example, 24 hours, when a single barrel movement can lose a lot of balance amplitude and suffer altered timing. With the twin barrels in series, you really don't have that problem. The balance is huge. It has a lot of inertia, so while it doesn't have a high beat rate at 6 beats per second, it does have inertia that helps to compensate for that, so that concussions, bumps, and sudden jerks of the wrist won't have the same impact on timing. It is adjusted in 6 positions, one more than a standard COSC chronometer, and you can see it as a free-sprung architecture for toughness and precise regulation. All of this is water resistant down to 30 meters. And you can see on the base plate, it is engraved Chronomètre Souverain. This is caliber 1304, which means the size of the movement is 13 French lean, and 04 is the year that work started on the movement. The CS, as a model, debuted in 2005. It is a 22 jewel movement, bridges and plates, 18 karat rose gold. So though this watch is 38 millimeters between the platinum case and the rose gold movement, it is very hefty. We have Côte de Genève across the bridges, mirrored anglage on the edge of the bridges. We have that sunray motif adjacent to the barrels on the base plate, engine turning underneath the balance. All screw heads are black polished. All train wheels are satinated. You can see the crown wheel core is satinated, and then we have this lovely black polished swan's neck style click spring that's inspired by the pocket watch era. Reach out to Tim Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details of this exceedingly rare FP Journe Chronomètre Souverain Black Label.